Well, Mr. Trump is a friend of yours.
Yes.
I think you would. I know him casually. I've never seen from the man in my meetings with him any trace of racism,
No.
any trace of malice.
So what do you make of his campaign, which has traces of racism and traces of malice?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's obviously playing some sort of character.
He's got a part here. The part is he's running for president.
Yes, exactly. And so I don't know whether to be afraid or not. You know what I mean? There have been in this country times when people like Huey Long or somebody like that came along that raised a little terror in people. But I think personally our democracy is bulletproof to any sort of any chance at fascism, and I don't think Donald Trump even is going that way. But if people are afraid of that, I think our democracy denies that.
Do you think he's demagogic? That's not a word, is it?
Demagogic? Yeah, that's a word. Well, I guess by dictionary definition he is, because he's. I think maybe the ruin of Donald Trump will be this addiction to playing the halls. You know what I mean? That maybe he doesn't want to be president of the United States as much as he wants to be the president of whatever room he's playing that night, which I can understand as a stand-up comedian, which maybe you can understand, because you go and you speak, and it's aphrodisiacal, to get in front of these people and have...
It's the biggest high of all.
It's amazing.
And they laugh, that's... Right?
Absolutely.
There's no bigger joy. So when he gets the applause, that's enough.
I think that's what he loves. I don't know if he wants to be president. What I don't think he'll win. I think he will start a giant television network.
Yeah, him and Roger Ailes.
And Larry King, maybe.
The Trump Network.
The Trump Network.
And how about Norm Macdonald with comedy specials weekly?
I would be your apprentice. On the Trump Network.
You recently said of Trump, by the way, you've got to be able to apologize and you've got to be able to say you're wrong. You have to have some humility. Why doesn't he seem to have that?
I don't know.
I know him and I don't know.
I mean, maybe...
Did you try to take a picture with him and he snubbed you?
Well, it was a kind of a funny thing. I was on the Jimmy Fallon show, and I was watching it. He was the first guest, and people... were the next day saying that Jimmy was too easy. As if Jimmy's Douglas Edwards or something. He's just a guy, just a kid that loves everybody. So he's not gonna, he may have lost his chance to, moderate Meet the Press, but I don't think that was ever his goal. But so Donald came out. There's only a couple minutes between when one guest leaves and the other comes in. So I was in the hall with him. He was with the Secret Service. And he knows me, So I said, Donald, a picture. And he goes, I love this guy, and he's talking to a Secret Service guy. He goes, I love this guy. I'll take a picture, just 1 minute. And he turned around, and then he walked to the elevator and got on it. So, I did make a few comments about him, and I haven't spoken to him since then. And I always wonder, oh, gosh, I hope he didn't read those comments and like his humility, because I do think that humility is a huge... important thing for a person to have, maybe one of the most important.
Oh, everybody will be humble sometime.
One day, absolutely.
You're not a big fan of Hillary's, are you?
Right. No, I don't like
Why
Hillary.
Don't you like Hillary?
I don't like her in any way. Well, because I think she's the most corrupt person that we've ever had in the White House. I mean, there's so many terrible things that she's done that we forget. But there was one that, I don't know why this was swept under the rug, but, she went into the IRS and looked at political enemies' tax returns.
Nixon did that.
Yeah, well, absolutely Nixon did that. Yeah, she's a
You
Nixonian
know
figure.
that Hillary did that?
Well, as much as I know anything. I mean, this was reported, and it was a thing for a very short time because the news cycles go so quickly. And maybe nowadays... Nixon, Watergate would have just been a Friday night story that would have disappeared on Monday.
Watch new episodes of Larry King Now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on demand on Aura TV and Hulu.